picks right now.
Are we thinking? Are they thinking too far ahead in this rock paper scissors scenario, or are they right on the dot with their tempo?
Are they picking Spock right now?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I feel like instead of going for the Claude, because the Freya still could have been picked up by SRG, well, as we said, Innocence and carry mode. And then as we've seen in M7 so far, Claude on the other side, Freya's a pretty good answer for it. You know, it can deal with it.
Yeah, what is that, like 75% win rate?
I will double check. We'll get back to that.
I think it is, like the 3-1, the last time I checked.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, this Farsa is going to have a really, really hard time with many different ways to get on top of her.
Yeah.
I think that high loss is going to be a really good priority for Aurora, but we'll see, because now SRG, they don't want somebody lane dominant. They want to make sure, well, it's lane dominant enough, but still requires peel during a team fight.
Lunar has to be careful leading up to level 4. The Esmeralda will mess him up. Eventually it settles into a dead lane, and then eventually turns into Uranus actually can't do much on Esmeralda come later to the game. But with them having the Freya, they might not be worried about getting into that portion. Now, SRG will now play towards getting a better roamer option for themselves and a gold laner as well. Should they double down on the range? I feel like they can still go fighter here. They already have the Farsa and the Yi Sun Shin. That's enough to actually carry, but if there's a marksman they want to slot in, double down on range, just go for the... Oh wait, no, carry is still open, yeah, carry.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. I thought there was a Harith, but no, it's a Harley. It's also just a magical little baby boy. I thought they weren't convinced that the Freya was going to go.
Not the only one.
Oh, Fulvia is banned for the side of Aurora. I thought they were going to get rid of both Claude alongside with Carry just to make sure that nobody can really take full advantage of, like, you know, the on-hit DHS. But at this point, I think it's fine. Getting rid of the Fulvius is okay, but what's the signal here, right? Is the signal that they want to play something along the lines of Nolan?
Nolan or Joy, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
They're willing to pack Grok, Freya, and they were willingly giving the Farsa. Yeah, it's the quicker access to the backline assassins, the easy burst. Joy or Nolan would slot in very well here, depending on what they pick up in the mid. They might end up eyeing the Zetian here again, considering they're up against the Farsa and the Yi Sun Shin. That extra bit of utility is going to help in terms of vision.
Gwyn. Okay, it was either Gwyn or Lyra Mord here. Gwyn or Lyra Mord would have been okay. Oh, this is so scary because now Aurora, if we are going with potential counter picks, and now that they've seen that the Gwyn is gone and Leomore might actually be open, they might not have to get rid of the Badang. But at the same time, the displacement is annoying when you want to get on top of RBL. Granger, the ban.
Yeah, it's the one I considered, but I thought Aurora would think that maybe SRG would want to pick up the carry over the Granger, considering that they have the Uranus. But maybe SRG just, they will end up having the damage to deal with this Euro pick. So they're going to need a few more bodies to really help sustain, but in terms of the position, there's nowhere to put it in. They can't go like utility jungle anymore. They have to go with something for damage.
It's clear. I think they picked Yume's hero here first, and then again, as their modus has been this whole series, protect Innocent, reveal later on where this Esmeralda goes at Red 5.
What would be a good support at this point? What can you actually go for? You need something that peels, you need some kind of CC. Kalia was still open this entire time, but it can be a dangerous game.
You got a Farsa combo, so at least there's a, you know, 1-in-1 pickoff.
That's a crowd control too. Bit of a reaction there by Yumes. Hopefully that didn't mean he accidentally picked the Kalea. Maybe they're just laughing around about something.
Yeah. Good to see them in good spirits, despite the rocky start to the series. Now we're going to find out what goes in mid and what finally Tienzi picks up. Because again, after game 2, I'm sure he's just as eager to get back into the game.
I like the Joy here. Good. I'm trying to remember whose voice line that was.
Yeah, I wouldn't launch.
Alunox. Ooh, close range. Ooh, they need range. Oh, they're still going to be going for all dive, yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They have some way to scale a secondary win condition, a good means to punish the front line against their opponents, and then the Leomord finally at the end.
Okay. So both of them have let out picks that they've been banning consistently. Aurora finally gets a Leomord. Meanwhile, Stormy finally gets his Farsa. Innocent, what are you going to pick? Is it going to be a carry or a fighter?
CC has been banned. Sora's out of here.
Ruby? Carry or Claude?
I think you just take Claude.
Yep.
At this point, just call it a day, pick Claude, and Innocent just play perfect. You'll win us the game.
Which, I mean, isn't a tough task for Innocent. Asking Innocent to play perfect is like asking any of us to breathe. It's like, yeah, sure.
I'm thinking it's still a fighter side lane.
It looks like it is. Xborg is
round 2.
Final pick.
Oh, and I like it because there's really no one to force him to do a little front flip.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
No one quickly. No, you know what I mean? It's just, it's very honest.
I mean, the Freya potentially can break it open, but it really just goes down to two things. Who's going to get the first blood of this game? Who gets first turtle? That's going to tell us everything we need to know, because the counter index is still leaning towards the side of Aurora, and even their lineup rating is better.
Yeah, early to late potential, even damage, survivability, pushability leads just a little bit more towards Aurora. But fire off in the comment section wherever you're watching. Who do you think has a better lineup here? SRG or Aurora? Real quick, Gideon, SRG Aurora.
SRG for me.
Leo?
Oh, I'm on behalf of all of the fans calling them Bizim Çocuklar Aurora.
Man, you are learning Turkish fast this broadcast. Welcome to game number 3. Mirko and Trex, I'm gonna loop you in. What do you guys think about the draft?
Thank you so much, panel. Yeah, I don't know. I really like that expert pick. That's number one. And also, the reason we don't see carrier Claude is because Aura Gaming wanted the carry Claude. They wanted to have the Freya to go up against that. It's a really good matchup for the Freya. I think if they went Claude, it would have been cooked.
If they went Claude, I definitely think they would have been cooked. I was expecting something maybe like a Ruby to kind of slow down the enemies. It goes great with the YSS, but still the X-Borg is phenomenal against all of these fighters, all of these divers. My worry for SRG is, yes, they have some CC, they have some crowd control, but is it going to be enough to kind of stiff-arm the possible dive from Aurora Gaming? If Aurora Gaming can pounce correctly in these fights, that's going to be their objective here, right?
Definitely. They need to find those big sets, and honestly, Pagu, whenever he's on the Grok, it just seems like it's inevitable. They have the mid-prio as well. Remember the matchup head-to-head that we were talking about last game. Lunox now is 4-0 against the Farsa, thanks to Stormy and SRG's comeback in game number 2. So Rosa definitely, you know, trying to tear a page out of Selangor Red Giants' book, but also, this is a very similar composition to what we saw in the Swiss stage. Alter Ego beat Aurora Gaming with the Freya Leomord in their first match at M7. Tienzi.
Tienzi being aggressive. This is what I was wondering. Are we going to see Aurora Gaming get as aggressive as they were in the past? Purple buff does go into the hands of Tienzi. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Stormy going to try to get involved here. Doesn't have level 4. Tienzi re-engages. Just as aggressive as he was on the Assassins as he is now on this Leomord.
A fighter is an assassin with more HP, baby. And he's got Barbiel, you know, even more mobility, technically. So, hey, if we're talking about, well, hold on, they want to just keep on going. They're bullying these guys again, dude. Not level 4. This is a free turtle for sure. But if we're talking Leomord, the first guy to do it technically was him, and I was at M4 actually. Way back. Incendio Supremacy days.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big Tigreal Barbiel play.
Yep. And yeah, it's free turtle. Sigiboom's right there, but they will be able to use the last Insanity for Innocent to get away there. Oh, interesting. They even commit a feather airstrike there, trying to take away the gold camp, but now it's, again, just Tienzi walking up, stealing camps away, really trying to suffocate Skies in this matchup. Phantom Steed knows there's no flicker on Stormy.
Well, Rosa's got his back, but Tienzi, and this is the thing, he knows not to fully commit sometimes. He'll use the ult, he'll use the punctures, but look at the damage on it. Innocent not going to be able to get away from this one. Rosa with first blood.
That's the thing about using the last Insanity defensively. It takes a while for you to get the Faraga armor back, especially in the early game here. So Aurora Gaming, really good punish up top. The rotation was clean, and even just the feint there with Tienzi already using Phantom Steed. It puts Selangor Red Giants into a false sense of security. They were like, oh, there's no way they would dive. You know, the Phantom Steed is down.
That airstrike does come down, but Tienzi doesn't care. He just wants his purple. You said they were denying. They are starving Sekais right now. Yeah. More damage lands on a Cram. Cram trying to come help out, but Aurora Gaming got what they came for. They quickly back off. Lunar going to be able to use the Consecration, go through this tower to safety.
Oh, up top. Whoa. Oops, solo kill? No. Innocent flickers out. He's good. But man, this is a struggle for the gold lane, for even Skies in the jungle, especially here. A level down. Sigibu still trying to pressure, trying to threaten Innocent with a solo kill. Takes two turret shots, just save.
Oh, about that life.
It's all about
my
that
boy.
right there. You're my boy. Let it be that way, right? For the most part in game number 1 and game number 2, Sigiboom did boyd Innocent. Like, Innocent was his boy for the most part. That's how we're going to refer to it now. It's the beast. Yes. All right. Did he steal the orb?
Oh, that guy's deleted. Rosa takes the kill, a nice Nice Tsunami Slam, but it's just for you. He's trying to get away, and he dashes under the tower. Lunar looking for another. Rosa with the double kill. Falling Star Moon does land on a 4, but just to commit to his own possible death. Aurora Gaming, third game in a row, controlling the early game.
Turrets do not exist for Aurora Gaming in game number 3. Tienzi, I don't know if my eyes deceive me, but I believe Tienzi, he let Barbiel steal the orange, bro. This guys couldn't even handle that, and then right as Barbiel got mounted by Mr. Tienzi, it was all done. Skies saw black and white.
My horse is hungry, yo. Let's Barbiel real quick. That's my boy over there.
He's hungry for a random monster in the jungle, man. Oh my goodness. Cram in the bottom lane here.
No way to get away. Cram gonna go down as well. Rosa 4-0 in 1. The Thorn Queen puncturing through the cracks of SRG. A nice Tsunami Slam will get caught up. Lunar taking out Innocent, able to get the kill. SRG finally putting one on the board.
All right, but it's still just Lunar right now. Pagu's doing so much. And look at Siggy Boom, dude. He's free farming up top on a Freya. Take a look at his items real quick right now. He's actually not that far ahead, Phantom Steed.
Oh my god, Yums taking way too much damage. Rosa is unstoppable. Another kill falls into the hands of Tienzi. Make it a tower next. An orange buff. Once again, Aurora Gaming's taking it all.
Bro, Tienzi's crazy with it, man. Barbiel just doesn't stop. Now they go up top, they go for the siege. This comp should be bad at sieging, but they don't care.
You know, this is a very similar draft of what SRG did previously with the with the full fighter composition, able to get a win in the Swiss stage. Aurora Gaming have been watching SRG. They are ready for this series.
Yeah, they truly are, man. They've really read SRG out. I think even in the drafts from game number 1, stealing the Sora, and the CC game number 2, stealing the Sora, almost getting it done, but Innocent still performing on the CC. Then here, it's a dive on Skies. Can they do it? Tsunami Slam.
Oh, does not connect though. Purify, able to get him to safety. Rosa able to get away. Feathered Airstrike just to keep Aurora Gaming at bay. So the question on our minds though, yes, they're winning again in the early game, but can they close it out? Because that's where they fell short last time.
Yeah, that's really the big question right now. And the thing is, if you look at it again, Selangor Red Giants do have good wave clear. They have really good high ground control. On the other side, sieging should be difficult. Again, it isn't that difficult if you're able to take these members down, but now it's really all about baiting Selangor Red Giants into these fights and not getting caught. I think a big part of game number 2 as to how they lost it and how SRG were able to climb back into the game was the fact that Yums, even though he's missing a lot, he found the correct play. Just one, Way the Dragon, got them back to a more confident position. And then the domino effect, bro. Right after that, Siggy Boom fell as well. And I think that's something that he's going to have to learn if they want to close out game number 3 here.
Yeah, they got to know how to approach it, right? They need to stay aggressive, but also not too aggressive, right? It's a very thin line there that they have to be able to tiptoe. What I will say
Don't
get too loco, Holmes. I will say this.
Carlito, calm down, man.
Calm down. Don't do it again. Aurora Gaming in control here. They are taking a lot more this time, though, right? I mean, we're seeing them steal buffs.
Yeah.
Them steal everything.
Like, game number 2 wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
We gotta starve Skies even more.
Even feeding stuff to Barbiel.
Yeah, if RBL gets some, at this point,
they might start feeding their minions.
They might actually do that. I don't think that's possible. Not a mechanic yet. Who knows? Maybe Moonton might add that in the future. But yeah, they are really just doubling down on the early game they had in game number 2 and going even crazier, which I really like. I think if there is a way to beat SRG is you gotta put them down before they get back up, dude, because it's inevitable. SRG, with any kind of composition, they will get back up. It's just when. And can you close the game out faster than that, before that timer happens?
They were able to do it in game 1. If they're able to win this game, it puts them at match point. It puts them at a huge advantage because how these games are going back and forth. At this point, whoever gets to match point first might just steal it away. Now, onto the topic of SRG. Yes, they're behind here. Do we think that they're at a clock like they were last game, where it's like late game, or is this still redeemable around First Lord, things like that?
I think they are on a clock. They do have really good scaling still, but the thing is they will struggle to close out the game later on, as long as SRG play it safe. Again, they have really good clear, and once we get to the late game, as long as they're able to delay a few of those Lords from getting a base turret, then they should be able to turn things around in those big fights. But, again, at the end of the day, it's defense versus offense. Like for SRG, it really comes down to, especially with the lead that AURORA have right now, playing inside of their base. Xborg, Yisun, and Farsa, they have to try to clear it.
Yeah, so big picture here. Big picture.
Big picture.
AURORA Gaming has the capabilities to do it. SRG, I don't think it's like endgame clock, but they definitely need to be careful because with the aggression that AURORA continues to bring, if they do get caught off too much, I don't think AURORA Gaming's going to let what happened last time happen again.
Yeah. Thing is though, Selangor Red Giants have a way to force that on you. It's like, you know,
Giants.
You don't want it, but Selangor Red Giants are like, bro, I don't care. You gotta take it. And sometimes you gotta take it like a good boy. Phantom Steed again, Barbiel went over to the turtle. And it's a defensive last insanity. They have good ways to disengage. So they still can actually hover around these neutral objectives. They don't need to give it for free. They can still hover, try to look for a play. If they can't, then they're like, okay, last insanity, flicker out, that's it.
You know, I know we talked well about the Xborg, but at this point, another game with Innocent on it, I feel like we don't get to see any aggressive last insanities.
Yeah.
They're all used defensively. Innocent, you know, he was able to pop off with that CC last game. He's never going to really have the opportunity to pop off here.
Yeah, it gets really tough because of the ganks, and AURORA Gaming have consistently been able to do this. They've actually outperformed Sky, Stormy, and Yums in the trio mid. That is what has led to Innocent losing out a lot in farm, and now they're going to do it again, dude. Right on time. They are just zoning Innocent away from farm, trying to take... You know what? They might be starving Innocent now. They're like, we're done with you, Skies. Now it's time to make you Innocent our boy.
This is something that AURORA Gaming lacked in previous games. Converting kills, converting gold into towers. This time they are cutting lanes. They are quickly moving things forward and a huge knockup. Set guys trying to get away, but TNZ picks it up once again. Yum's in a bad spot as well, up against Siggy Boom. Rock's gonna make his way up. Should be able to escape, but still AURORA Gaming, 6K gold lead.
Yeah, never mind. AURORA Gaming, usually it's like, I take the territory and then you have to move somewhere. But even when Selangor Red Giants try to reclaim some territory, AURORA Gaming were there and they're like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Innocent in the bottom lane, we bullied him. You're not going to get face, not at all. And even if you do, we're gonna take you down. So it's a bad trade in the end, a turret tier 1. Oh, look at that damage, my guy. What is that damage? Oh, my lord!
Here comes TNZ as well. Another tower is going to drop here. Innocent trying to defend, trying to get some damage off. He doesn't have the frog armor. He's in a bad spot. Tsunami slam, but it's right into all members of AURORA Gaming. And SRG are shattering right now. Set Guys drops next as Siggy Boom pops off.
TNZ survived that! He got caught in the flicker Tsunami Slam, brought right into the Mountain Shocker, but it wasn't enough though. Innocent!
He's an assassin with more health bar. And they dive in. Lunar takes out Innocent. Lunar takes out Stormy. Lunar with the double kill. And a Lord is coming soon.
AURORA Gaming are stomping Selangor Red Giants. Nice steal, Pagu. Lord slain by Pagu. That's going to be a stat later on. I don't know how we're going to figure that out, but Pagu's going to have one Lord in the stat sheet. They don't care about turrets. This is an assassin with more HP. They've done it. They went in, and man, AURORA Gaming looks so good this game. It really looks like they should be able to get more. But remember, wave clear is still really good. Again, flicker Tsunami Slam right into the Mountain Shocker, and TNZ's just sitting there saying, nah, bruh.
I'm an assassin with more HP, bro.
I'm an assassin with more HP,
You're
bro.
my boy.
And then Uranus Lunar is just like, yeah, Uranus, yo.
Another purple buff. Lord coming soon, like a movie near you.
Man, I don't know about this. SRG should still be able to clear it out. Whoa, the Holy Shield gets broken right before.
Oh, Pagu makes the play. Siggy Boom jumping onto the back line as well as Rosa puts damage on SRG. The Lord cracks through the base in the face of AURORA Gaming. SRG trying to defend.
Usually you see teams knock on the door, they're barging through.
And there's no way to do it. AURORA Gaming, look the Giants in the eye and tell them, Matt,